As the ruling government of NDA, led by the Prime Minister Modi of India, doesn't do anything to reform or bring up the economy to higher standards just after the demonetization and GST. So looks like the Rahul Gandhi, led by the Congress in 2019, has to bring back India to economic and higher standards in exports and imports to the international peoples. The exports from India and China are the most likely to be harmed by the currency strength, are boosted by the weakness among the Asian economies, underscoring the two giants' sensitivity to the swing of the foreign exchange markets. An analysis by the Bloomberg Economics Tamara Henderson shows the historical link between the exports and the exchange rates was the highest in India in the decade through 2017, followed by China, Malaysia and Japan. Singapore was a notable outlier. The exports actually do better when its currency firms up. For a region that is heavily dependent on exports, the relationships to the currency performance explains why Asia's policymakers stepped up actions last year as the US dollars weakened. With global trade risk rising this year as the US plans tariff on a range of products, the pressure to protect the competitiveness of exports industries is set to build. The policymakers will likely prefer to keep their currencies competitive relative to a trade rival, said Henderson, an economist based in Singapore. This would be consistent with smoothing operations in the face of the currency strength, evident in buildup of reserves. Asia's export outlook for 2018 has also dimmed with the Trump administration now acting on its protectionist threats. The authorities in Thailand and South Korea have already voiced the concern over the strength of their currency. In the countries like Malaysia, Thailand and Singapore, exports make up more than half of their gross domestic product. The exports from India had the strongest tie to the currency performance in Asia in the past decade, suggesting the rupee gains tend to detract or retreat from the performance of the merchandise exports while the currency losses increase their appeal. China, Japan and Malaysia also had relatively strong negative correlations, near 0.6. The average for Asia was minus 0.4. In the past decade, Singapore's shipments, about half of which are re-exports, were most resilient to the currency gains, said Henderson. The following chart shows how Asia's currencies have been faring. It shows the unadjusted weighted average rate at which one country's currency exchange for a basket of currencies of trading partners and is indicator of a country's international competitiveness. Malaysia's ringgit has gained the most in the Asias in the year through of January, according to the data from the Bank of International Settlements. The Philippines' peso and Indonesia's rupee were the biggest losers. So what do you think of India-China exports, most at the risk of the currency strength in Asia? In India, the Modi government doesn't do anything to bring up the reforms to back to the track when the Congress had much to do the track. Do you think Congress-led Rahul Gandhi has to bring the reforms and the expertise to bring up India to a greater level in the international markets in 2019 elections? When Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India met with the Economic Advisory Council for the first time yesterday, reversing the current economic slowdown was top of the agenda. A surge in demand for the products and services would be certain cure for most of Indians' economic current afflictions. Low capacity utilizations, low investments, low production, low job creation are the low GDP growth rate. And there is no better way to pump up the demand than catering to orders from all over the world. India can target an export turnover of $1 trillion by 2022, up from the current $450 billion. Meeting this target will need some steps. Promote manufacturing of products that world buys the most. Bulk medicines or the paramedicals, organic chemicals, engineering, electronics and telecom equipments and so on. For this, the government would need to announce sector-specific incentives and tax breaks, and then rope in an anchor firm for each products group. Anchor firm kickstart operations and achieve high growth using their global network and the money. They also persuade others to join the network. Also promote textiles, leather and other labor intensives or incentives products where the manufacturing is shifting from China to the lower cost countries. A manufacturing push will also help in diversifications and growth of the service sector, which today is mainly the story of IT service exported to the US and the European Union. Invest in global value chains or the GVC ready trade infrastructures. India does not product electronic, telecom and the high-tech product as it supposes the customer infrastructure does not guarantee quick entry and exit of the goods. This is critical as the part and the sub-assemblies of such products are manufactured in many countries and delay in the shipment at one port. The disturbed manufacturing schedule is in another country. To improve, India needs to automate port and customer operations and allow green channel clearance for the most consignments. Match the turnaround time for the ship with the best global parameters. This will shorten the queues, ensure quicker transactions, and allow better use of the infrastructures. India must also set up a new online platform for processing all the regulatory and the commercial requirements of the exporters. The platform should allow exporters to file all information or documents online, doing away with the need to deal with the customers or the customs, DGFT, shipping companies, sea and airports, and banking separately. Focus on improving products quality. Many Indian fails the quality test due to traces of pesticides, pathogens, illegal dyes, etc. India needs to redesign its quality infrastructures to help firms to move higher quality standards and protect the country from substandard imports. The institution responsible for developing standards, setting guidelines for the inspection, testing and quality certification must adopt the global best practices. We also need to set up more global accredited testing laboratories, enhance the capacity of Indian testing laboratories, and sign mutual recognition agreements with our partner countries for accepting each other products. India's agriculture export will gain most with these measures. Protect interest of the exporters in foreign markets. India has 500 plus US FDA approved paramedicals unit, yet Indian medicals or the medicals equality is always ridiculed and suspected. The big pharma pushes the US government to apply the hardest possible measures to discourage entry of paramedicals products from India. Even highly quality products from India face routine rejection in China and many other countries. The government must create a war room to track such incidents. The trade expert posted in Indian mission must take up the issues with the foreign regulatory bodies. Export of same qualities or quantities of customized products to Korea is a new form of export taken by the thousands of students, housewives from the small firms. They export handicrafts, jewelries, ethnic wear, decorative paintings, Ayurveda products, and so on. Considering the depth of the India's artisanal expertise, each product can become a $1 billion plus categories. But the retail export policy needs many changes. Today, retail exports can take place from few airports. Processing is manual. Consignment value must be less than 25,000 rupees. The firm must pay GST but get to no refunds and export incentives. The retail exporting should be made as easy as selling the local markets. Open large product exhibition centers come markets. Consider facilities offered by the Yiwu market located in Beijing, China. It is the world's largest wholesale market where 1 million suppliers exhibit 4 million kinds of products. Yiwu has tied up with leading logistic firms for the shops to deliver or door delivery. Order at Yiwu, receive at your factory with no hassle of transport and customs. Centers like Yiwu must be an important part of India's market expansion, brand and the relationship building strategies. Consider India's advanced R&D capabilities, diversified manufacturing skill set, and extensive vendor base, and a $1 trillion export turnover is target within reach. Meeting the target would strengthen the brand India, creates 25 million jobs in manufacturing and 50 million in the services, and bringing India on the par with the top manufacturing and exporting nations. These are just a few steps which are created by us and other authors of the press and medias. So what do you think of these ideas? Will India can implement these ideas, or India is still lacking above anything? Can India become the next China, or can surpass China in the future? Post your comments below. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and follow us on social networks and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.